What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Loki is from the UCA clan, and his name is Swissboy. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is HellsRavage. The map is... doesn't say. Hold on, what is this map? The map is Painted Desert. Right, and it's currently 1-0 for HellsRavage in this best of 5 series. The Bill Gregg Open round of 32. Winner gets to go on to face more champion. That's a delightful matchup and a very exciting one for either of these players to go into and fight against. HellsRavage took that first game with a really nice Oranos play. We're seeing Swissboy change it up to Loki. And little strategy, Loki good or at least viable in 4.0. We've seen Loki have some success in this tournament so far, so I would say yes, it's viable. I think there are good matchups and there are bad matchups for every god except for the top tier gods like Zeus and Set. I don't think Zeus and Set have any bad maps, any bad matchups. I think Loki can do pretty well against Zeus. I think Loki struggles just a touch against Set, but I definitely think that Loki does well against Oranos. But you have to play it really well, and you can't take your foot off the gas. You have to really know where to send your army at all times, when your army is stronger than the Oranos players, and when it's weaker, and when to run away, and when to fight. That's the important things. Seeing HellsRavage throwing away a scout here, you hate to see it. I'm going to be able to keep it alive, though, for just a little bit. Let's check out the hunt, though. Painted has this bizarre map, right? Sometimes you can get an immense amount of hunt, and sometimes you get none. And this map is one of those maps where there's not a lot of hunt. You got the 4 giraffe and 1 gazelle spawn here with the zebra in your base. I think it was only 4 zebra or 5 zebra. It's always a little bit of a difficult one for you. You do have double elephants always in the middle, though. I think it's always in the middle. Oh, that's a nice spawn there. Town centers don't really secure anything on this map either, so it's really hard for players to secure their second gold mine. So oftentimes this map comes down to that second gold mine fight and pressuring your opponent's back hunt and things like that. We're seeing Swissboy chopping that wood. He's getting his temple up, and he's got 4 villagers on the gold here. Hells on the other hand looks like he should be fine to get to the second age at his standard 430. It's coming in fairly fast here, so it should be okay. Temple's coming up as well. Chooses to get it with the wood villager. He does need to get 50 gold for hand axe, so this does make sense, but it does delay the mana and pickaxe slightly, but I guess we understand which one he prefers. We are going to be going Prometheus here. Swissboy, on the other hand, I'm going to suggest he's going Forseti, and he is. Has just like a touch of idle villager time now. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or not. Trying to get out that 5th dwarf, but it's just after the 4-minute or 4:30 mark that he's going to be advancing, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. I'd love to see Swissboy move around, eat these lions, and then move on to the elephant, because that's the most the most efficient hunt path. But then he has to like run all the way over to this location and this location. So that's a little bit sad, but it's a lot of food here, and if he can secure this, which I think he should, because given his training units already, if he can get out a bunch of these Herser, he should be able to secure this hunt here. Well, he needs to fix up this ox cart. And what we've been finding from the Norse versus Oranos is Norse has a slight advantage early, so you can hunt aggressively. At least Odin does, and Thor does, just at least a little bit early. So we'll see if it's the same for Loki. He's literally moved his Ulsark here, and he didn't see this ox cart being out of place. You hate to see it. He would have thought that these villagers went idle, I guess. And he's controlling this. No, he's not. That's just him there. He built the longhouse, and there we go. The ox cart does move. We've got counter barracks, military barracks for HellsRavage now. We're seeing Swissboy move on to this elephant, and we've got Hells in the corner on this location here. We've got the Promethean coming out. There's a troll to greet him. Again, not paying attention, Swissboy. You gotta realize when you're sending things. Keep an eye on the minimap at all times. The Promethean offspring are greeting these villages. The troll should be able to clean these up though. And Hell's going for the ox cart, the weaker Loki ox cart. So Loki's ox carts are cheaper but weaker, and they are faster as well. I believe they've got they've got a plus 1.5 speed bonus, which is actually quite a lot. Also got the blankets of Empress Zoe here. And did we see a relic get grabbed? Or am I just imagining things? Oh, there it is. Swissboy picked it up, and it's infantry training time reduction. We're going to be seeing, we saw the longhouse out for Swissboy instead of the double temple, which we've been seeing from the Loki mains like Nulgath and the like. So that's interesting, but he's pumping those Ursa out. They're going to be doing some things. Goat gets claimed here. Units of HellsRavage chilling. More mana's coming up for HellsRavage. He should be okay. Should be okay to start attacking fairly soon. There's a little bit of a timing right now where Swissboy does not have Hall of Thanes, and the army of HellsRavage is pretty strong. And if you can hit that one at any point here, he can deal a lot of damage. But we're seeing Swissboy just going to sit on this hunt for a while, and he's going to lose a house here. That's not a big deal. Swissboy can just rebuild those houses. They're pretty cheap. Only 40 wood. No spoilers, Wukli. No, none. We don't want them here. All right, now we're going to see Hells may be able to be caught here, especially because this Hall of Fans is just about to be finished here, and it's about, there we go, 100%, but looks like Hells is going to get out of here. He should be okay. Now we've just got to wait for this second elephant, and he's going to be okay. I'd love to see this Ulfsark wall off this location, go around these giraffe here, boom, to this tree, boom, around, and to the location here. We see the shockwave comes down onto the villagers, going straight for that ox cart. That's huge. Really well played. He's going to rebuild it instantly, but do these villagers have... They don't have husbandry, so they will have to be running away, but the ox cart does come in. But that's a shockwave down. Always nice to have a shockwave going down and a little bit of delayed food income there. So well played by Hells in order to do that. Now we're seeing a couple of raids here, multi-raids from Hells, trying to pick off this Ursa, and now the villagers are back to work. This random villager walking all the way over to this ox cart. Oh, nice Promethean offspring raid happening here, but he's not going to kill the villager, just be a little bit of a nuisance until he dies. We see the spy cod power coming down for Swissboy onto the army, so he's going to be able to notice the army movements of HellsRavage. And Hells is gonna be getting out of there. And now Swissboy needs to think about how is he going to get to that next age. He's got a few too many villagers on this gold mine. You really only need 10 dwarves on gold if you're building Hersa from 2 military buildings only. You don't need more, and building dwarves from your town center. So 10 villagers on dwarves, plus 2 Hersas, 10 villagers on gold equals 1 dwarf every 16 seconds, 2 Hersa every 23 seconds, right? And you want to be putting dwarves onto food so that your gold income slowly trickles up. So you have a little bit more than, I think it's 8 is perfect for a dwarf and 2 Hersa, but you want to have it as 10, so you're slowly getting extra gold until you hit the 800, 500 perfect moment here. And here we're seeing Swissboy's already at that 500, where he's a little bit behind on the rest of it. We're seeing the armory coming up. We're seeing the elephant about to run out. This wall not up yet. Now he's not going to be able to get it up. He should have thrown this one up while the attacks were going on over here. He would have been able to get it up for free, and then he can just hunt in this location. But the units of HellsRavage are going to be spotted here as the villagers running across. I'm surprised he didn't go for this. Does he know about it? He does know about the giraffe there. I'm surprised he didn't go for it. Would have been really, really good for him. Implication. Do you know the link to this layout with the villager counter? I do. If you go to RTS Sanctuary and search for Ipit's posts, he did post this this user interface on RTS Sanctuary, and we're seeing the Hersa coming in, trying to fight this army of Hells. The Hells are sitting at 115 population. I think his army actually wins here if he has medium upgrades. So we'll see if he's upgrading those or not. There it's coming in, so he's just waiting for the medium upgrades. He's got a Kara Baluster as well, so if he leaves that one in the back, he should deal a lot of damage. You're seeing the Troll Spawn, nice Troll Spawn, and there's the medium Murmillo forcing the Hersa out. And you can see the army difference here. 8.8 versus 8.8, 156 versus 121, and 20 versus 34. So it's effectively the same HP. These units are effectively exactly the same against each other. And Swissboy, you really don't want to be taking this fight if you can help it. He's getting a lot of free damage, and I feel like Hells should be trying to take this fight at this point. Because he probably does win it. But you want to be getting Heroic Age, so you get that extra buff onto your Ursa from aging up. You get extra hit points, and you get extra attack. And then you completely win with the flaming weapons. If we check out Swissboy's army here, we're seeing a little bit of that coming in. And HellsRavage, check this sneaky one out. He's grabbing these giraffe here. That's very, very sneaky. Just because he knows he can't really come over here onto these giraffe. He's eating his elephant here, and he doesn't really have any food left, and he's just taking all of Swissboy's giraffe, which is going to be huge. It means we're not going to see a Mythic Age from Swissboy anytime soon. That giraffe there would have got him 1,000 food he needs to get after Bragi into Hell or Tier. And now we're seeing nice surround here, but Hells gets the healing spring, and this fight here is a little bit early for Swissboy. He's got the extra healing from the healing spring here, and it's going to force Swissboy out. If he got that surround like 30 seconds later, could have cast flaming weapons and then killed all of those units there. And now Hells is on the offensive. Is Hells going to the next stage? No. He's grabbing 3 town centers, and we're seeing him continue to take this fight. And Swissboy has to turn around, and he hates it. You hate to see this one, turning around and fighting this one here, losing all of that population you built there. We're seeing Bragi just about to come in, and now they're throwing Axe in the Sun to come out. And the Hersa do get that buff now, get a little bit extra attack, get a little bit extra HP. And now they will probably win this fight if they start taking it to the medium Murmillo as they are retreating away from here. And he knows he has to get out of here because he can't win this fight anymore. But he does have the speedy Murmillo as he's running away. He's going to have 3 town centers. He should be okay. But the question is going to be, can Hells hold a second gold mine against flaming weapons? And we're seeing, weirdly enough, the flaming weapons being used a little bit defensively here. And as you know, the Murmillo can just run away at this point, and there's no real trap for them here. And the giraffe are all gone, so the villagers retreat back to the gold mine over here. We're seeing some farms probably start to shoot up in Hells. That's more than... he's taking them off onto the giraffe. He's going to eat the rest of his giraffe here. That's really well played there. And now, again, the army of Hells getting out of here. And Swissboy's just kind of wasted his flaming weapons here. If he makes an attack on this location... excuse me. If he makes an attack on this location here... Hells can just move to this large gold mine and he should be okay. But Hells really needs his own heroic age here, which is going to be the downfall. He needs Hyperion to deal with the battle ball that's coming out. He's got 4 battle ball. This is too much. This is too much for Hells at this point. So Swissboy can just take this fight. If he gets a good angle on it, he can just stay here, and there's nothing that Hells can do, even with all of these heroes here. He's got 7 Murmillo. This army is really strong from Swissboy. He's got copper shields, but I wish he would get copper mail as well. Swissboy's got he's got so much gold. He's pumping out the the battle ball still. No. His battle ball will stop pumping out. He needs to turn them on again. Especially because this army is going to start dwindling and he's going to need to replace them. But the battle ball taking all of that tanking. Look how much damage they tank. These Hearths are doing absolute work as well. The Valkyrie spawn comes in handy. We've also got some throwing axemen joining the party here to help out with these Murmillo, but it is looking like Hells is going to win this fight slightly and force Swissboy out. But Swissboy, what's he doing? He's not spending his gold. Does he have a market? He does have a market, so he can buy. Or he just bought so much food there. He bought too much food. He has no gold left to advance to the next age. He can cancel that dwarf if he wants to help him out. But we're seeing the army of HellsRavage coming into this gold mine. We should definitely see Swissboy get off this gold mine, and maybe he can stay on it. I don't know. He's got all his battle ball. The Murmillo are fine there, and there we go. Hell incoming. HellsRavage not close to the heroic age at all. He's spending all of his food onto these Murmillo, and once the Fire Giant come out, that's when it's going to be a big issue. And Swissboy is sitting at 85 pop. That's 2 Fire Giant plus your free Fire Giant. All he needs is 600 gold, and it's going to be really, really difficult for Hells to deal with it, especially because he's got all of these myth units here that can counter chaos. So once the chaos comes in, it's going to be a chance. It's going to be, if he gets all 3 of those Fire Giants out, it's going to be like a 3 in 7 chance to hit the Fire Giants, which is not going to be a good odds at all. Does Hells have his upgrade for the cheap? I don't think he does. He doesn't have his upgrade for cheaper heroes either. We're seeing a hill fort coming down. Swissboy just playing really cautious here because he realizes he's in a decent position. But Hells' economy is pretty strong. It's cranking along. He's going through Thea. He thinks that the birds are going to save him, but the Fire Giants counter the birds so well. And we've also Swissboy's already got some of these throwing axemen now. He's got 7 of them, and I'm sure he'll get Axe of Muspel as soon as he sees a Thea. He's also got Hell coming as well, which this army is not going to be able to deal with at all. He's got no hero archers, and the Nidhogg will just roast these guys alive. I think the Carabal's the turnaround for some reason, probably because they're slowing down the Murmillo there. But here we go. Mythic Age incoming. Nidhogg coming down from the skies to start burning these Murmillo alive. It takes so long to come in. I'd love to see him just push through this wooden wall here if he so chose. And he's going to be doing that. And HellsRavage almost through Thea, and this wall is not going to last a second here as it just dies pretty much instantly. And there's Thea, 95%. We'll see how he uses it, but this Nidhogg is going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to defend against. We're going to see him pushing off this gold, which is obviously what was going to happen, and now Hells can move back to this gold mine. The Hesperid's tree comes down, but Hells has got no gold in the bank. He's only got 4 villagers over here. He has this Sky Passage here. Could take these 4 villagers off the farms for now. From the gold, we're just going to move over there with this Sky Passage here. He can just jump over onto this gold mine if he gets pushed off this town center here. Here's the Fire Giant here. If we jump over to Swissboy's perspective, 100 favor. He's chucking up a temple right in the face of HellsRavage. Now the Fire Giant are going to start pumping out. They're going to do so much. And there's the Fire Giant. They start coming through. We may even see, because he's got so much favor in the bank, we may even see him get the extra strong Fire Giant in the near future here. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get that upgrade, but it makes the Fire Giant have even more HP. They've already got 600, but just jockeying back and forth. Now we've got the heavy Murmillo from HellsRavage. These start going toe-to-toe with, or even a little bit better than the HellsRavage. So we can kind of fight this one if he can get enough hero Murmillo. Wouldn't be a bad idea for Hells to just like say stockpile resources and then just transfer all of these Murmillo into heroes with the cheaper upgrade as well. But he's going to be fighting this one here. The Nidhogg's running in with the Stymphalian bird. He should get roasted pretty fast by the Fire Giant. Yeah, we're seeing the throwing axeman target. No Axe of Muspel just yet. But this Nidhogg is just dealing so much damage. And we don't even have the town center targeting him down. Need to be always targeting the Nidhogg down. And there we go, the throwing axeman. Oh, got a target. That's the target with the Fire Giant. You do so much damage with this Fire Giant here. And Swissboy just happy to sit underneath this town center and underneath this palace and just deal all of that sweet, sweet damage here. And the army of Swissboy is just cranking. Is still sitting at 115 pop. He's got an extra Fire Giant coming out of here, and this is 115 pop to HellsRavage's 122 pop. So long as Hells can pick off this Nidhogg, which is doing pretty well. This Valiant Bird has stayed alive for so long, and this Nidhogg should go down. And if he can deal with these Fire Giant with like Hecate or something like that, gets the Lampades out and gets the special on them, that'll be really, really good. But this position is going to fall. We don't have Masons. We do have Copper Weapons, but it's not going to be enough. And for some reason, we're seeing Heavy Destroyers coming out at this point. I hate to see that. But Els just can't stay popped. Well, there we go. He's popped now, but he just can't deal with all these myth units. And he's just throwing away units left, right, and center. Thank you so much for the follow, Sodomizer. Appreciate that one, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with me. We got these Fire Giant. They just do so much. And there we go. Use the special. The special does nothing, but those single attacks, they have ridiculous tracking. I don't think they can miss anything. And we're seeing these Fire Giants just melt things. We're talking about the Fire Giant burning stuff alive. These Fire Giants... Sorry, we're talking about the Nidhogg burning these things alive, but the Fire Giants just do so much. And now we're seeing Swissboy take down this Palace with the market now up for Hells, but what's it going to do? What's it going to do at all? Swissboy's still sitting at one town center. Is he still building villages? Yeah, he's still building villages. He's going to need to get this town center at some point. Surely. You can't just win this game off of one town center. That'd be silly. We're trying to see these citizens get to the Sky Passage, but it gets picked up before they die, before they get there, and they will die very, very quickly to the rest of Swissboy's army here. And Hells on the back foot, getting up his fortified town centers. He's got some idle villages inside that Sky Passage, and now the town center that was once HellsRavage's is now Swissboys, and the rest of these units moving in, gonna be building up that town center. Feels good, man. And Swissboy should feel like he's in complete control over this game at this point. There is one more gold mine, and once it expires, it should be really easy for Swissboy to just cut off gold and guarantee his win. But Hells he's hanging in here. He's got all of this food in the bank that he can play with. See if he can utilize it for something here. He's got all these Arcus out, so if he can heroize those, he should be able to take out these myth units fairly easy. Yeah, looks like Hells is trying to get to the Mythic Age. It's definitely the way to do it. If you can get out like 2 or 3 Lampades and just right click on the Fire Giants, you should be able to pick them all off really, really quickly. Hells only got 20 favor in the bank though. And there's the advance time. Okay, coming through on the back town center as well. So he's gonna chill here. And I guess Swissboy is on a bit of a timer. I don't think so. I feel like he's fine here. He doesn't have to win. He just needs to grab town centers, secure his position on the map, wall this off over here. We see the village moving forward onto this gold mine, but can be greeted with an Offsark here. Now the army moving in as HellsRavage moves a little bit out of position here. You hate to see it. Hell's going to be coming back into his base as he sees this attack. The pallet's going to go down very, very fast, but Lampage should come out. We're seeing some heroizing here from Hells. I would prefer him to not do this at this point. Just because he needs to get those Lampades out. Because that's why you're going through Hecate here. You need to get those Lampades out to deal with the Fire Giant. There's no real other way to do it. And it is difficult because they have such a short range. They're not like a mummy that can kind of sit back and they have to kind of get up close and personal. But we'll see if you can micro that one. We're seeing the Momillo run forward. They're going to be greeted by this 11 HP Nidhogg, who's just running around, just checking things out, making sure everyone's behaving themselves. The Momillo running onto that house there. Should be able to take down this location fairly fast. The Nidhogg going to be picking off these units and he should be okay. But Tartarian Gate is incoming here. So we'll see if Hells can make the miraculous comeback. The Lampade comes out. Oh, micro this. Oh, kill the thing. No, not happening. Uses the Tartaran Gate on this location. The Nidhogg can kind of just sit here and take this out by himself, though. In a way. Sort of. Not sure. Where's the lamp? Oh, he's run his... Why? Don't sacrifice this. This is your unit. You need this unit. Oh man, you hate to see it. This is the whole reason you go Hecate here against Loki. Loki does not care about this Tartaran Gate because he picks it off so easily with his fire giant. And we're gonna see him continue here, but had Hells just not lost that Lampade. Cost 25 favor, so he's going to be able to build one shortly. I expect him to do so, but it's just so sad. Just imagine if he walks up, gets a chaos on one of the fire giants. Be really, really nice. And we're seeing a nice little raid here from Hells, but Darkskull are greeting these Arcus on. He's going to lose those hero Arcus as well. So sad. More villagers pumping out. Oh, now we've got the Fanatics coming out. Getting those extra beefy units to deal with this. Hell's got a lot of resources in the bank. I'm surprised he still doesn't have that upgrade that makes a heroizing army cheaper. Battle's coming up as well. This is going to be the fight for the game, it looks like. This gold mine right here. Because this town center secures this gold mine and this gold mine. But the palace will be up, so it'll be a little bit of help. We've only got medium Arcus for Hells. Is he upgrading those? No, he's not. That's not what you want to see. Need to upgrade those. The Caraballas are trying to take out the Longhouse. So we've got the Arcus getting heroized there. He's got 12 hero Arcus. If you can focus fire these Caraballister on top of the heavy Huskarl, and get those Arcus to rain their arrows down on top of the fire giants. I still don't even think it's going to be enough because these fire giants, they just survive for so long. Nice micro from Swissboy, bringing the Arcus back into the range of these Herso here. And that'll be really, really good. And it looks like Swissboy is going to be picking off every single one of these Arcus here. This palace will go down, this gold mine will go down, and with no gold, you get nothing. You get no army, you get no upgrades. Oh, you get some upgrades, very few, but no significant upgrades. And Hells taps out. GG. Well played by Swissboy. That one town center play. That's what we're talking about. This is why you play Loki against Oranos, because the Mythic Age is so difficult to deal with. So the way you deal with it though, with Oranos, is get Hecate, cause the distraction with the Tartaran Gate, get out some Lampades, have them use their special ability, which converts a unit to Gaia. And if you get them to use it on the enemy Fire Giant and run away and get a couple of those trades there, you're in a real good position. But instead, Hells was sacrificing his favor in favor of those hero units, and it's just not working out for him. Anyways, it's currently 1-1. Swissboy levels the series here. Super well played there. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll continue the recorded games shortly. Stick around.